Referees all in agreement, and the game begins. Yunhao with the ball from the back. Sun Tang. Cross. Ivan Low sends the ball long. Pops up, shoots. Yunhao. It's caught there excellently by Gomez, who digs it into Salamanca. Rodrigo now, and it comes to Barral, who shoots, jumps high and celebrates as he manages to score past Ivan. Spain taking the first point of the game. But it doesn't last for long as an immediate spin shot there from Singapore regains a point for them. And it's 1 point apiece. Rodrigo. Aguilla, Barral, and this time caught on front line by Ivan. A good battle going on here. And a catch from Salamanca on front line. Excellent defense there against Zain from Singapore. Aguilla to Gomez, a lovely switch, and Mosquera shoots and scores from the aerial. Spain's defence starting very strong against this excellent Singapore attack. Sun Tang, switch to Ivan, returns the ball long to Zain, who now switches across. Yunhao shoots and scores. Gomez just leaving him that 0-degree shot, and Yunhao made no mistake with that one. Salamanca brings the ball in from the back to Rodrigo. Aguiar. Barral. High jump to Gomez, who shoots, and it rebounds from the Singapore defence. Combination of Amos and Yunhao not able to gather that one there, and Spain will score the point. A frenetic start to this game. Sun Tang. Now the long ball shot and scores past Mosquera. We commented previously on the way that Mosquera defends, and he typically leaves one leg up, which means he's slightly exposed in the way he does things, and Singapore were able to take advantage there. Amos unable to get there on second line. And another point for Spain. And again, tactically, what we've seen before in terms of how Singapore will play this game is typically trying to target the end of 3 defenders for Spain, as they place it to the right-hand side of Salamanca there. So if Singapore take possession at the end with Sun Tang and Ivan Ho, more often than not they will look to return it to the other end in order to attempt to score the point. I suspect that's what we'll see here, as opposed to shooting against the end of Rodrigo and Aguilar as the defenders, and we do immediately see them return it to this end. And first time shot, yeah, I think they are starting to target Mosquera, who's not particularly mobile on the front line of defence. Salamanca has made one catch already, as has Gomez. Aguilar, Barral, spin shot caught by Sun Tang. Sent to Zain. Mosquera digs it. Barral running up on second line, takes the catch and sends it to Gomez to re-attack at the same end. Gomez shoots, and it's caught by Amos on the front line, who takes a second, regathers, sends to Sun Tang. Switch across. Ivan Low. Now Ivan, and Aguilar takes the catch. Good defence from Spain. Salamanca now. Barral. And again, scores in that gap between Ivan and Ivan Low. Barral definitely feeling passionate about this game, celebrating heavily every single time he scores. The long ball now will come back, and Spain will try to defend with 4, but it rebounds off Aguilar. And they're unable to gather. Point to Singapore in this even game so far. Mosquera puts his foot on the line as he jumps to receive the switch from Gomez. And Singapore will have the ball. Yunhao. Across to Zain. Shoots, and it's caught by Mosquera. Salamanca dictates the play, tells him where to go to Rodrigo. Barral, who looks... Barral is playing this very cleverly. He's put in a couple of shots early to set the defence. And now if you look, when he jumps, he's staring at the defence to work out where the gaps are and placing it in mid-air. It's excellent play from the shooter there. Spain just unable to gather that. It rebounds from Salamanca, and Gomez wasn't quite able to get the rebound. Rodrigo. Aguilar. Barral. Switch to Schneider. That's the first time we've seen Schneider shoot. And it's worked. The 10-degree shot gets around the scrambling Singapore defence, who were not able to cover. Suntang. Amos returns the ball very quickly, and Suntang shoots and scores. Just trying to catch the Singapore defence out there almost by the look of it. Aguilar. Barral. Lovely spin shot to place it around the outside of Suntang there. Just set a little bit early. Wasn't able to gather. Suntang long from the back. Yunhan now with the long ball. Ivan Lowe. Oh, Schneider got his hands to that. And Rodrigo, tracking around the D, almost managed to get into a position where he could dive and get it, but not quite. Salamanca now plays it to Gomez before moving into position. Quick switch to Mosquera. Landing called. I think he just jumped a tiny bit early there. Yunhao. Across to Zane. Back to Yunhao, who delays. Sends to Amos. Spain gather the troops to defend. And Salamanca just not quite able to gather. Amos had to duck out of the way of that to avoid the ball touching him and conceding the obstruction. But he successfully does so. Point to Singapore. Salamanca will bring the ball in from the back. Rodrigo. Aguilar. Switch to Barral. Looks high. This time Ivan manages to catch it. Suntang with a quick counter-attack goes high. Rodrigo just not quite able to gather. And Yukang in the middle there had again to step out the way of that ball as it rebounded from Rodrigo to avoid the obstruction. Salamanca returns the ball now to Aguilar. Ooh. Schneider at full stretch there to be able to gather that that switch. He did well, but just put his foot on the line as he did so. Zane. Across to Yunhao. Shoots, and Spain defence can't quite gather it. You can just see Salamanca shaking his head in exasperation as he thought he almost had that one. 3-second violation has been called there. I believe one of the Spain players may have had it behind the back line. It doesn't look like Spain agree with that decision. Suntang. Long to Zane. Yunhao shoots and out of court. Given point. Amos with the ball from the back to Suntang. Ivan Lowe. Shoots a difficult height to defend against Aguilar, who smiles wryly as the ball is returned to him for Rodrigo to put the ball back in. We're seeing that quite a lot in this competition. It's that shoulder height shot is very difficult to try and distract from. Amos attempting to do star jumps on the line there, which is difficult to understand whether he's just trying to get the biggest amount of space for himself or cause a distraction. Either way, Spain throw the pass inaccurately, and Singapore will now have the ball from the breakdown with Ivan Lowe, the captain, to take. The time comes back on, which it does now. Ivan Lowe. Zane. Jumps high. Looks as if to switch. Realises that the Spanish left shooter Gomez has slightly moved away and shoots just beyond 90 into the gap. Rodrigo. To Aguilar. Setting Barral, who sees the gap, but it's caught by Amos on second line. An excellent catch there, and he nods in appreciation as he knows his positioning was good. And Salamanca unable to read that. Yeah, you can see Singapore targeting the end of three really does play dividends. They're able to work around that central defender with Gomez moving early to see off the threat of the right shooter coming in, and Mosquera not being the most mobile. They're leaving Salamanca a little bit exposed through no fault of his own. Suntang now brings the ball in from the back. Zane across, but just feeds it to the wrong side of Yunhao, who wasn't able to gather. So Salamanca will bring the ball in from the breakdown. to Barral, who returns the long ball to Gomez with one pass left. Shoots and it rebounds from Amos and out of court, so Spain get the point. In the last couple of minutes we've just seen the score start to build for Singapore. Spain are 4 points behind. 5 minutes left to go in this period. Ivan Lowe with a long ball to Zayn, who looks again, sees the Spanish defensive come up, but the pass isn't especially accurate to be able to regain. Doesn't matter though, Ivan able to score the point. Rodrigo, Salamanca, Aguilar. Switch across to Barral. Looks at the defence, and Schneider again with a foot violation in the forbidden zone. Sends the pass now. Zayn looks up, makes the switch, and Yunhao with an excellent shot there, which is the last thing he ends up doing as the entire end is substituted. We now see coming onto the court, Razik as the frame pivot, Isaac as the left shooter, and let's see, Kangjin as the right shooter. They now have their chance to affect it for the first time. And a first-time shot from Isaac. Gets it into the gap between Salamanca and Schneider. Spain have also made a change in terms of just swapping their shooters. Their defenders remain in the same positions. Barral now returns the ball to Gomez. Left shooter to left shooter. Not a particularly accurate one, but Mosquera is able to take advantage, taking the ball and firing it down the line, which the Singapore defence were not able to get around. Suntang, Ivan Lowe, ooh, heavy shot to Aguilar, who just checks in and is told, yes, I'm okay. Ivan making sure, after all, tchoukball, spirit comes first in all respects. Suntang now with the ball in from the back. Isaac shoots, good dig from Salamanca. Aguilar running through on second line, manages to catch it. Barral eyes up the defence, and Isaac walks around on his knees to try and catch it, but in the end just deflects it away from Ivan on second line, who might have caught it. And Razik will bring the ball in from the back. Suntang switches across to Ivan Lowe, sends it long to Isaac. Switch now, and Kanjing scores the point, but it looked like Spain weren't particularly happy with something there. I can't quite tell what it was. I think maybe they thought it was a given point. I'm not sure. Long hang time there from Barral, but a combination of Razik and Isaac managed to catch that. Send it to Suntang. Ivan Lowe has to shoot now. Does. Oh, what an excellent set of actions there. Ball rebounding from Aguilar, high off the frame. It was going to be an accidental point that he was scoring, but the Singapore defence ran round and caught it very quickly. What a save with quick thinking. Aguilar, switch, and a lovely... the spin shot from Gomez there is called landing by the main referee. See it on the monitor. I think it was close. Isaac. Ball, Ivan now back to... that's caught by Salamanca on front line. Kangjin not able to get through. Barral has to shoot now. They've used up all of their passes. Does show, spins it, and Kangjin can't gather it on front line. Point is scored with just over a minute remaining. Spain 16, Singapore 21. This fast-paced first game. Isaac now. Spins it. Oh, and that's caught particularly well. Rebounded from Schneider onto Salamanca, and then Rodrigo came through on second line to catch it, and Alvaro finishes the point. What an excellent team move there from Spain with some brilliant defence. I think Spain have got a little bit of a problem defending against Ivan Lowe at this point. He's shooting chest hard, high at Aguilar and Rodrigo, and they're just not able to consistently pick him up. Perhaps they need to make some kind of change to sort that. Quick switch from Barral to Schneider. The point is scored. Suntang. Ivan Lowe. Again sends the ball long. Singapore looking to target the end of 3 and now sending it back. Oh, fantastic catch. Aguiar has to shoot and does so. And that's it. That's the end of the game. The end of the game. Excuse me. The end of the first period of a frenetic, fast-paced and full of excitement with some excellent defence, some good tactics and 2 strong sides. The first period finishes Singapore 22, Spain 18.
Est-ce qu'il y a des enfants ici qui ont participé au tchouk quiz? On a des enfants qui ont participé au tchouk quiz. Est-ce qu'il y a des enfants qui veulent remporter des prix? Il n'y a personne qui veut remporter des prix. Il y a des enfants qui veulent remporter des prix ou pas? Et c'est parti, on y va. Alors on va faire ça, on va faire l'aide avec de Unai et de Gwendoline. On va voir. Ouh là là, est-ce qu'il y a des... Oh là là, mais c'est plein. C'est maxi plein. Donc on va faire un tirage au sort. Hein. On va demander à Unai et à Gwendoline de prendre des participations au quiz. Et on va voir si vous avez répondu aux bonnes réponses. Quelle était la réponse qu'il fallait donner à la question où a été créé le tchoukball? C'était à Genève, très juste. Qui est le créateur du tchoukball? Herman Brandt, c'est parti, très bien. Qui peut participer au camp Tchouk Loisirs? Tchouk Loisirs, c'est tous les jeunes de 7 à 18 ans. Combien d'empreintes est-ce qu'on peut faire au tchoukball une fois qu'on a la balle? C'est combien? Combien? C'est 3 empreintes, très juste. Combien d'équipes nationales ont participé à la Coupe des Nations 2025? Dites-moi combien? Combien? 35, très juste. Qui est-ce qui a gagné la Coupe des Nations en 2024? C'est l'équipe de Italie, magnifique. Comment s'appelle notre mascotte? Tchouki, c'est parfait. Combien de joueurs de la Coupe des Nations jouent sur un terrain officiel? C'est pas 20, c'est 14. Vous êtes trop fort, c'est parfait. À quel âge peut-on participer à des entraînements de tchoukball à Genève? De 3 à 89 ans. 3 à 89 ans, on peut jouer au tchoukball à Genève. Comment s'appelle le capitaine de l'équipe suisse de tchoukball? C'est Yanis Bruin. Est-ce qu'on a des bonnes réponses ici ou pas? Oui, on a 3 bonnes réponses. Et on va demander à Apolline du CO des grandes communes. Est-ce que Apolline du CO des grandes communes est là? Apolline, tu es là ou pas? Apolline, elle n'est pas là. On va donner alors à Léonard du cycle du Marais. Léonard, il est là ou pas? Léonard du cycle du Marais, je te laisse directement. Tu reçois un prix de la part des tchoukball Geneva Indoor. Et est-ce qu'il y a un Louis dans la salle? Un Louis du CO des Marais? Louis, tu es là ou pas? Louis, il n'est pas là. On va tirer un autre prix alors. Si Louis, il n'est pas... Ah si, Louis, il est là. Il est discret, mais il est là. Bravo pour Louis et son prix. Et pour avoir répondu à toutes les bonnes réponses, j'aimerais juste voir si Apolline, tu es là ou pas? Apolline, pas d'Apolline. On va laisser la place aux joueurs. 18 pour l'Espagne, 22 pour Singapour, 4 petits points de différence. L'Espagne qui joue en rouge et jaune et l'équipe de Singapour qui joue en noir. Début du deuxième tiers-temps dans quelques secondes. Referee, you can start the second third. Thank you.
Welcome back to the second period of Spain versus Singapore in the Nations Cup. We start again with some excellent defence as Amos catches the ball from Mosquera's shot. Isaac sending the ball down the line. Yunhao shoots and it rebounds from Aguilar and Spain are unable to catch it, so Singapore score the first point of this period. Spain immediately making a change with Gomez, Aguilar and Mosquera coming to the other end of the court. Switch across to Schneider. Again, the foot fault on the line. He's had a couple of those so far this game. Being well set by Barral. It's also good refereeing to be able to catch. They need to turn their attention quickly. Isaac. Across to Kangjin. And ooh! Shot heavy there from Zayn, hitting Salamanca in the side of the head. Quick run to check that he's okay. She's confirmed that he is, but that certainly sounded nasty. Gomez switch to Mosquera, who scores. Number 25 past number 25. Mosquera past Isaac. Well, it was a very late switch there from Gomez. And as a result, came very close to landing. But it was called legitimate. And the game continues. Singapore with the ball to Zayn. Across to Yun Hao. Catch Alvaro Barral. Immediately goes on the counter-attack, and Razik is just not able to gather the ball. He came in well from the centre of the court there to try and cover off the position, but just not quite able to do so. Kanjin Isaac. Zayn shoots. And Barral had just moved too far away to be able to provide the effective defence with Salamanca there. Rodrigo returns it to the same end. Barral. Schneider starts his run, takes it, and again puts his foot on the line. It's a shame he's coming up with some nice shots here, but they're just all being proved invalid. Ball is kept at the same end. Zayn, the dig. Rodrigo, very well done there to bring it back into Salamanca. And Barral will now have the ball. Singapore will have to defend this, and they don't quite manage it. It comes through the centre of the two on second line, Razik and Ivan. Ball long from the back. Kangjin to Zayn. Yun Hao misses the frame and concedes a given point. The deficit reduced to 3 now, 25-22. Isaac, cross to Kangjin. Zayn takes a second, switches to Yun Hao, shoots and beats Salamanca. Just to the right-hand side there. Ball in now to Rodrigo. Aguilar switches to Gomez and to Mosquera, who concedes the given point and holds his arm out to show the referees that. Just a little bit too much power on that. Rodrigo. Barral. Amos takes the catch well on front line, but Barral was called for landing. Kangjin, Isaac. Again, he's just hit another Singapore player, a Spain player in the face. Aguilar now, so Salamanca and Aguilar have both been hit by these high shots. Spain reluctant at this point to make any substitutions. They've been changing their ends between each other. Good point scored there by Gomez. But as yet, we've not seen Salmel or Pais come onto the court. We've seen several substitutions from Singapore already. Salamanca just unable to gather that on front line. And the gap grows to 6 points. Salamanca to Rodrigo. Aguilar. Switch to Gomez. Quick attack, and he gets it between the two of Ivan and Kangjin. Kangjin will now bring the ball in from the back. Zayn looks at the defence and realises where the gap on second line is. A flying Aguilar at full stretch, just unable to gather the ball. Salamanca. Aguilar. Gomez. Switch to Mosquera. Shoots down along the frame. And that's a given point. Unlucky there. Barral now shoots. I think it deflects off the front line and is caught on second line. And Yun Hao takes full advantage of Singapore being able to quickly recycle the play. Yu Kang with the catch there on second line. Rodrigo now. Barral. Across to Schneider. Another given point. And these very quickly rack up. This is proving to be an expensive minute or two for Spain. Rodrigo, Aguilar, Gomez, switch to Mosquera. Foot on the line called. And Ivan will take the breakdown. Zain to Yunhao, and again Singapore make that work, shooting against the three in defence. Rodrigo to Barral. Looks at the defence, sends the spin shot, but landing called. A difficult one. Amos takes the breakdown, takes 2 steps, spins and returns it to Zain, who shoots, caught on front line by Salamanca. Aguilar recycles to the same end. Barral to Schneider, comes off the frame, and will be a Singapore breakdown for Amos to take. Change of shooters now, just the right shooters for Spain though, as they move Schneider to the opposite end and bring Mosquera opposite Barral. Rodrigo, Aguilar, Gomez, quick switch, and it pays off as Kang Jin unable to gather it. The ball that ends up at the feet of Ivan rather, but I don't think he was in any position to catch it. I think that was all on Kang Jin. Shot there, goes in from Zain, tries to set the defence, but a combination of Barral and Salamanca catch it. Mosquera called landing there. By the tall end referee Carlo Escher. Zain now with the ball. Switch to Yunhao. Back across to Amos. Jumps high, Barral takes the catch at the 90-degree angle. Spain recycle quickly. Aguilar to Gomez. Singapore rush up in defence as Schneider comes in to shoot and scores! Isaac unable to take the catch on front line there as Schneider puts in the 0 shot and Spain get a point back. Singapore do not make the substitution in time. And now Spain punch the ball up in the air. Defence, Barral shoots and correctly called landing there. Amos to take the breakdown. Kang Jin. Isaac. Ivan runs across, takes the ball and scores on the triple. Singapore will now be able to make their substitution correctly and bring on Ne. Replacing Yu Kang. Aguilar for Spain. Gomez fates and puts it across to Schneider, but Ivan is equal to it in defence. Zain now across to Yunhao, and the ball bounces there as Spain attempt to gather it on defence. Rodrigo. Barral. Mosquera shoots into the gap between Amos and Zain there. Looks like Singapore are preparing a couple of substitutions. It's like Ivan Low and Sun Tang will be coming back onto the court shortly in the left and right shooter positions. I suspect maybe we'll see Zain and Yunhao come off. A good team defence there between Salamanca and Aguilar. Barral sends it to Mosquera, who fires it down the line and gets another point for Spain. And here we see the first of those changes made, with Zain coming off to be replaced by Ivan Low. Sun Tang waiting on the sidelines. I suspect we'll see the change being made at the next point for the substitution of Yunhao. Isaac switches across, fools some of the Spain defence, but Aguilar with a great sliding catch there. Sends it now to Salamanca. Gomez with 1 pass left. Runs in, flicks it across to Schneider, who puts it just out for a given point. It's almost too good there, too flat down the line. Salamanca. Barral spins the ball, but is called landing. Just struggling with this referee in the spin shots at the moment. Amos. Kang Jin. Isaac. Shoots hard and heavy at Schneider, who's unable to gather. We now see Spain Make a slight tactical substitution as the left tutors swap ends. Barral trying to get away from the referee, calling him landing on the spin shots. Who switches well to Schneider, and they get the point. Isaac. Suntang. Feints one end. Kangjin runs in. Oh, and that's rebounded off the ground and I think into Rodrigo's face. So all three of the Spain frame pivots have now managed to be hit in the face by the ball at some point during this period. Aguilar. The option pass out to Rodrigo. Mosquera with two to aim out on the D, but manages to find Amos, who pulls off an excellent catch off balance. Suntang now. Singapore will reset the play with one pass left from Kangjin. Doesn't need it. Shoots and scores. Barral just unable to gather that there. Salamanca. Cross to Gomez. Gomez called travelling. Clearly doesn't agree with that, but Amos takes the breakdown. Kangjin. Switch to Isaac. Will he switch again? Yes, he does. Ivan runs through, and that has gone out of court for a given point. Spain ducking out of the way, and it drops just the wrong side of the line for Singapore there, who concede the given point. I think ideally the referee from the other end, Escher, would have been along the line there, seeing whether that landed correctly in or out. The referee's made the decision. That ball just pops up off front line there. Spain unable to gather. So they said bring the ball away from the back. Rodrigo returns it to the same end to Gomez. Switches across to Mosquera. Scores the point. Again, pushing that 0 down the line. Isaac. Suntang. Ivan Lowe. Okay, the ball rebounded there from Gomez on the line. Onto the frame, but just dropped within the forbidden zone. So it's a accidental given point. Gomez wasting no time in scoring a point right back. After a couple of minutes where the score slightly got away from Spain, they've kept it relatively tight since. And with less than 2 minutes left in this period, the gap is at 11. Spain will need some significant effort if they're to turn this one around and effect a draw or a win from this game. Barral doing his best to bring the score back down to 10. Shot that Kangjin was unable to catch. Who now brings the ball in from the back? Ivan Lowe. Suntang. Cross. Amos to Kangjin. Shoots and scramble defence from Spain. They're just unable to gather the ball together. Unlucky there. Salamanca calmly sends the ball to Aguilar. Options the ball to Rodrigo. Sends it back down to Barral. Looking at the defence. Where's he going to put it? At Kangjin. Amos comes through on second line to take the catch. Returns it to Isaac at the same end. Spain with 4 to defend. Shoots and Aguilar just moving out of the way. Slightly misread where that was going. Got the height right, but the line wrong. Rodrigo to Salamanca. Gomez out to Salamanca with the long ball. Barral's the hold his shootout, but goes a little bit too high and allows Isaac to make the catch. Ivan Lowe. Cross to Suntang. Back to Ivan, who's low. Has to shoot. Mosquera takes the catch. Rodrigo. Just 12 seconds left in this game. Gomez across. Mosquera shoots and scores. Singapore will have seconds few to get the ball in. Are they going to shoot immediately? Isaac will have to if he wants. No, I don't think he's realised what the time is. He hasn't. And after a quick end to that period there, Singapore 45, Spain 34. The difference 11 points.
Ok, il me semble qu'on est encore un petit peu froid dans cette salle. Donc on va faire bouger les gens ici dans Ambrand Arena. On a Noman qui nous a réunis avec toute l'équipe de Tunisie. On va voir si les Tunisiennes elles arrivent bien à danser. Est-ce que la Tunisie peut se lever? Est-ce que vous pouvez vous lever ici dans Ambrand Arena? On va faire un tchouki movement, une tchouki danse pour animer un petit peu cette Ambrand Arena. Au revoir à tous. Au revoir aux enfants qui partent maintenant. On a là-haut, on a l'Espagne. L'Espagne est là-haut. On a tout le monde qui est là. On est prêt? On est prêt? Les Tunisiens, Noman, faut se lever, on va se lever. Les Tunisiennes, on se lève. On va se lever. Uruguay, you can stand up. Brazil, you can stand up. Tchouki, on y va. C'est parti, Tina, avec la musique. On va commencer à les faire bouger. On est prêt, on y va. On y va. Go, 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 go. Et c'est parti, mouvement numéro 1. Et on bouge. Et c'est parti à la Hongrie qui est là aussi, qui bouge. Et les deux. Oh là là, ça c'est des mouvements compliqués. On y va, on y arrive. Go, 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 go. Et 2, 3. Et ça bouge encore. Et de 4. Tchouki, il est méga créatif aujourd'hui. Et de 5. Là, ça bouge et c'est parti. On a les Brésiliennes qui bougent et c'est parti. Mouvement numéro 1. Et de 2. Et de 3. Et de 4. Et de 5. Gros applaudissements à tous. Gros applaudissements à Tchouki. On va recommencer le match. Tchouki, tu peux venir vers moi, ici vers moi. Tchouki, là, Tchouki, il est chaud. Hein, il est chaud. Tchouki. On va voir si on a des gens aussi chauds ici dans les gradins. We have some supporters of Spain here or not? We have supporters of Spain. Est-ce qu'on a des fans de l'Espagne ici? Non? Do we have supporters of Spain? Nobody supporters of Spain? Oui? Vous voulez des drapeaux Espagne? Oui, on a des drapeaux. Est-ce que je peux avoir des drapeaux espagnols, s'il vous plaît, Tchouki? Tchouki, apporte-moi les drapeaux espagnols. Hein? Où sont nos fans de l'Espagne? Merci beaucoup, Tchouki. Singapore. Ok, Singapore. Both fan from Singapore and fan from Spain here. Spain, one more for Singapore. Singapore, we have fans from all the countries here. You are welcome. Singapore here. Spain here. Singapore here. One more for Spain. One more for Spain. We want to see the flag. We want to feel the energy here in the Brandt Arena for this last third of the game. Singapore in front of Spain.
And welcome back to this final period now. The last 15 minutes of Spain versus Singapore. Spain will bring the ball in from the back. Singapore again making changes in the break. An early foot on the line there from Mosquera. Singapore have brought on Rozic. Yukan coming back on as well. Spain not choosing to make any changes just yet. Potentially giving their younger players some experience against the best players, but I expect maybe to see Pice at some point. Schneider sends the ball down the line. Scores there. Singapore quickly bring the ball back in. Suntang. Ivan Lowe. Across to Raikal. Back to Suntang. Spins the ball past Mosquera. And again, Spain changed their shooting pairs. Salamanca will have to bring the ball back to this end now, and he does. Aguilar takes it. I would like to see Aguilar shoot just once, because I do think Singapore are just sitting off the line too much for him, and I think he could make some good work out of shooting just once to try and set the defence a little bit. So before the end of this game, I would like to see him do that. Yunhao scores. Mosquera unable to get round. The pair of Gomez and Salamanca had combined well to sit tight in defence, but slightly let down by Mosquera with the gap there, which was exploited by Singapore. Aguilar. That's a given point by Schneider. Thinking about it, Aguilar has technically had at least one shot in this game when it's rebounded from him onto the frame, but not one where he's received the ball first from the front line. From the back line, correction. Which is what I'd like to see. Rozic now. To Suntang. Bullets the ball back down. High jump and scores from Zane. This partnership of Zane and Yun Hao has been prolific for Singapore and has yielded a lot of their points. Gomez shoots and Razik catches comfortably on front line. Plays it left-handed to Suntang. Ivan Lowe, and a good catch from Aguilar moving there on front line. Salamanca sends it across to Barral. Schneider shoots and scores into the 30-degree gap. Raikal not able to get down and defend that in time. Ball in now to Zane. First time shot, scores. It's as simple as that. Mosquera muttering a couple of words to the bench. Not sure what he's trying to get done there. Aguilar, Barral, Schneider, exactly the same result. And he's realised that he's making the mistakes when he hits that 0-degree shot. So he's just bringing the ball inside as a disguise. Raikal's not able to come around because Barral's selling him really well. And Spain are scoring points as a result. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Barral shoot first time off this next one to try and set the defence. Now he's passed it to Gomez, onto Mosquera, who scores. The ball rebounds off Zane into court, but Yukang, Razik or Raikal couldn't quite get hold of that. And Suntang will send the ball long back down to Singapore to shoot at the end of 3. Yun Hao, switch across, Razik. And the only left-handed player that Singapore have got scores by pushing it down the line where Spain just weren't quite expecting it. Time back on as Salamanca brings the ball in from the back and sends it to Rodrigo. Aguilar, Barral, and shoots. Yeah, he sets 2 of the defence, with the left shooter having already moved off to cover the threat of Schneider. But they successfully defend him, Suntang defending high above his head before the ball is recycled quickly to get to Zane, who makes no mistake, finishing 90 degrees past Spain. Gomez now. Mosquera, given point. The ball rebounded from him, from the frame back onto him. Aguilar. Barral. Excellent shape in the air there. Very difficult for the Singapore defenders to tell where Schneider's going to put that ball out because it's hidden by his body until the very last minute as he does so, and Raikal wasn't able to gather that in. Suntang now with the ball. Sends the ball back long to Zane. Jumps high and... Oh, Yun Hao with a shot. Into the chest of Gomez and back out again. I think Gomez thought it was framed from the way it rebounded. Referees didn't call it. Aguilar, Barral. Shoots, spins it, comes off the right hand of Suntang. Gathered on second line by Razik, and they score, Singapore. Suntang digs it. Razik makes the catch, fires it long to Zane, who makes no mistake with the point. Rodrigo. Gomez. Switch across to Mosquera. Caught on front line. Singapore admitting there that it had come off their leg and therefore was a point to the referees, which was good. Spain just letting their heads drop slightly as we see their ball fire up in the air, but none of the second line had made the run, and therefore it was an easy point to Singapore. Salamanca to Aguilar. Barral. Switches to Schneider with a lovely shot down the line and unable to be gathered by Ivan Lowe. Spain score the point. With 8.5 minutes left to go, the gap is 14 points. Suntang switches to Ivan Lowe, who fires the ball past Aguilar, is just unable to gather that. Raises his shirt over his face in frustration. The Spanish captain, Rodrigo, looking up at the scoreboard there and puffing out his cheeks. It's been a tough game. Spain have played well. Spanish captain there remonstrating with the centre referee as he feels his player is being unfairly called for travelling. Singapore take the opportunity to make a couple of substitutions. Zayn and Yunhao come off. Isaac and Kang Jin come back on. It's interesting to see how much Singapore are operating with the same shooting pairs throughout how they work here. Their frame pivots tend to interact slightly differently with their centre pivots, and they all move in and out of those positions. But during this match, they've almost exclusively played with the same shooting combinations, which has been very interesting to watch. Good catch from Spain on front line there, sending it to Salamanca. Barral shoots. And an excellent catch from Yu Kang on second line there. For Suntang sees the gaps in the Spain defence, popping it over front line. And with no runners on second line, the point is scored. Ball sent to Aguilar. Barral. And Schneider scores the point down the line. Singapore make another substitution as they bring on Ne for Suntang. Kang Jin across to Razik. Yeah, again, that left-hander coming through for Singapore. They're only one, and you could see the Spanish right shooter Mosquera, who's stumbled over and provided no opposition to the shot. Gomez there, getting it through the Singapore defence. Get another point back for Spain. Gap is 13 points, and it's stayed pretty consistently 13 points. There hasn't been a huge amount of movement in this period. Up to 14 again. As Ivan Lowe now replaced by Ivan, who comes on with a couple of tactical considerations. Raikal moving into the defensive end. Singapore defending with 4 on the line, which isn't something we often see. This may be the tactical change that they were talking about. A good catch there on front line before it's sent across. Nur has to gather it for a second. Salamanca makes a good catch on front line. Rodrigo. Barral stretches himself out. Schneider comes off the frame. Unfortunate there. The referee's calmly calling for the fault. Raikal. Is it on Yukang? No. Isaac has to shoot here. Yeah, that's 3 passes. But and yes, the Singapore team raised that to the referees before that's scored by Spain. A little bit of confusion from the referees there, just trying to make sure that the points tally is in fact correct for what we've just seen. Sent down with Isaac now. Oh, some excellent defensive work there. Gomez falling out of court, flicks it back to Rodrigo. Calmly takes the catch. And Barral makes the shot through second line. Nur bringing the ball in now. Isaac. Sends the ball back down to Nur. They won't attack this end of 4 though. They'll go back to the end of 3. That's not a particularly accurate pass to Kang Jin. Not his fault at all. That was entirely through Nur. Mosquera. Oh. Looked like he got his feet all wrong there, and I thought he probably landed that, but referee calls the point. Time is off while a new ball is sourced. And we're ready to bring the ball back into the play with Kang Jin sending it long to Nur. Isaac. Kang Jin. Cross to Razik, who again beats Mosquera, tearing at his shorts in frustration like Rafa Nadal. Kicking the sideboard there as well. He clearly lets his emotions out on his sleeve. Spain don't have a huge amount to be frustrated about here. This has still been a good performance from them. There's been just a couple of small periods in the game where Singapore have put 2 or 3 points on in a row. But apart from that, a good dig there. And that's caught by Mosquera, who still shakes his head in frustration. One pass left from Barral. Schneider shoots, comes off the frame. Raikal will take the breakdown and pop it up. It goes high off Aguilar and off the court. Singapore score the point. Salamanca with the ball from the back. Rodrigo. Back to Aguilar. I feel like we've said that a lot today. Barral looks at his defence. Schneider, I think, went for the hardest option that he had there, and he beat the Singapore player down the line. But there was a huge gap open for him. Barral had sold Raikal on 90 degrees, and all he needed to do was put it to 45, and he would have had an easy point. Nur brings it in now to Kang Jin, who reverses round. Mosquera's head is gone. I don't think he's fully in this game at this point, and almost needs just a couple of minutes on the sideline to get his head back in the game. But we're right at the end of this period now. Just 2 points left. Sorry, 2 minutes left in this game. People keep defending this well. It may well be that there's only 2 points left in this game as well. It has been a really, really good display of technical ability on defence, and another catch there from Aguilar, who's played well today. He struggled a little bit with the higher shots, but when we see those low ones go in, he's been very, very good. Nur. Isaac. Assesses his option. Switches across. Kang Jin to Razik, who switches again to Ivan. Quadruple effectively happening there. And worked effectively for Singapore, playing it into the gap. Salamanca. Aguilar. Barral spins it past Nur in defence. And now the ball is brought in to Isaac, who sends it back to Nur. Back long to Kang Jin, who jumps across to Razik, shoots 30 degrees, and it's dug by a combination of Mosquera and Rodrigo, but Gomez not quite able to gather it when it rebounded to him on the 45. Salamanca on the 90, sorry. Salamanca now to Gomez. Sets up Mosquera in the air, and they score the point. Isaac to Nur. And that's well caught there by Isaac. Kang Jin switches across to Razik, and the point is scored. Low and wide. Mosquera just not quite able to get there. Salamanca, Barral, back to Gomez. And the point is scored, an aerial behind the back shot to about 130 degrees. Singapore haven't seen that before, and that is the last point that we will see in the match. Spain draw last blood, but it's just not enough as Singapore take the win by 14 points. Singapore 67, Spain 53. Thank you for joining us, and tune in later for more games from the Brandt Arena and the Nations Cup.
Sur le score de 67 à 53 face donc à l'équipe d'Espagne. Pretty impressive game. We have started at the beginning of the game. Spain was a little bit strong, but at the end of the game, you have completely beaten them. What is your impression concerning this game?
I think in the beginning we were not playing as well, but towards the end we adapted to them better throughout the match and gradually where we gained the lead.
Without my mistake, you have won all the games until now.
Yes, correct.
How many games do you still have to play?
We have played 4.
4 games you have won.
Yes.
So you are qualified for the semi-final.
Finals. Yes.
Congratulations. We're looking forward to see you tomorrow for the semi-finals. Thank you.
Hello Javi, it's a difficult match today. How will you prepare for the next match?
Our next match is very difficult because it's against Swiss. So we need to rest, eat, talk about the mistakes we made and be more concentrated in the first minutes.
Thank you.